My name's Tom DiNardo. I am the Wine Zealot, and on today's show, we're going to be exploring a topic that's near and dear to my heart. I'm an amateur mycologist, and mycology is the study of mushrooms, or fungus. So ladies and gentlemen, this is Jim Fackler. And Jim, nice to meet you again. I just met Jim this year at our Mushroom ID class. This particular mushroom, the Ganoderma oregonensis, they have it labeled as called the false reishi. I always called it the Western reishi. Because last night, Lori and I made the double tincture. And I've had, what we do is we slice up the Ganoderma and dry it. And I believe you have some right there. Okay. Now, is it? Yeah, because now what I always found when we have the dried Ganoderma, I always found it smells like Swiss cocoa.
Oh, that's interesting.
Now this smells a little more like tobacco, but I do get the cocoa on it.
It smells divine.
And so what we did with the Ganoderma is we soak it in the Crystal Springs, which you can buy. It's like 198% or 198 proof, almost 100% alcohol.
Oh.
So I soak it for anywhere from 30 days to 60 days, and from what I understand, that releases the terpenoids, and I think that's the more cancer-fighting property. And then we set aside the alcohol, squeeze out the mushroom, and then we boiled it for about 90 minutes at a slow-rolling boil, and that breaks down, from what I understand, the complex carbohydrates and polysaccharides. And then when the tea cools, we combine it, and that's how we create our tincture. Is that more or less what you do?
Yeah, from what I understand in reading this book here by Robert Rogers, great book. He teaches basically herbology at college. And he says to use the 180 proof, and he uses fresh mushrooms. I'd use fresh. I'm sure you can use it dry.
Yep.
And you let it sit for 2 weeks. He said if you go beyond 2 weeks, you start to denature the compounds.
Oh, okay.
And if you have vodka that's 80 proof or something, you might go 3 or 4 weeks go longer. And then you go ahead and you do cook it, and the longer you cook it, the more you're going to get out of it.
I want to ask Jim, since this is his area of specialty, what is your favorite medicinal mushroom on this table that we're looking at?
Oh, I don't know how to say that. It's just. I really like oregonensis, Ganoderma oregonensis, just because it's a beautiful mushroom. It took a while to find it. When I found it, it was one of those wonderful moments.
Yeah.
It lives in a great place. You get to go to amazing places to find it. I love that. Yeah, it's an old growth species. But all the different species have different qualities and do different things.
Now, is that Spirasis crispa or albiatus?
Well,
this is the famous cauliflower mushroom.
This is actually they've got it listed as Spirasis crispus.
Okay.
But I now know Spirasis crispus is the European form of Spirasis, and that on the West Coast it's called Spirasis radicata. The European form, Spirasis crispus, promotes collagen growth. So that's really good for skin. Okay. Spirasis radicata, the work hasn't been done. We don't know what it does.
Now,
but it's in the same genus anyway.
We have found, I know it's Hericium. I'm not familiar with the last part of the species name, the bear's head. What is that, Hericium? Albiatus. Now, I've been informed recently that's good for brain maladies.
Yeah, the work has really been done with Hericium erinaceus, which is lion's mane, and it reputedly grows here. I don't know enough to be able to say if it does or doesn't.
Lion's mane is more found on the East Coast, as I understand it, and we find more the bear's head or Hericium out here, which we found in the last couple of days, and it's prolific.
Hericium does grow, or erinaceus, or lion's mane, does grow in California up into this area.
Oh.
So it is reported here.
Okay.
I just don't know how common it is. But it does promote neural cell growth, and it's been found to be effective in early onset dementia and Alzheimer's.
Now, is this an example of a double tincture that you have made yourself?
This is just 90 proof alcohol, 95 percent alcohol
With the Ganoderma.
with the Ganoderma organendus, and I just like it and keep it on my desk.
It looks cool.
It's one of my pets.
The medicinal mushrooms are some of my favorite, and that's what we've been really getting into. So I just want to say thank you for your time, Jim. It was a real pleasure because you know a lot more about the medicinal mushrooms than I do, and I just find it so fascinating. And the club's lucky to have a member like Jim who's really made this one of his passions, which is looking at the medicinal applications of mushrooms, which admittedly our pharma companies are still far behind. And this is one of the reasons why clubs like ours exist, and why experts like Caleb Brown study some of the mushrooms like the hallucinogenic ones, because we're finally coming around in our society looking at the wonderful medicinal applications for mushrooms and the health benefits in general with edibles and medicinal mushrooms. Thanks a lot, Jim.
You bet, Tom. I love it.